Lynch letter, 1712, and the message is still true, by William Lynch. Gentlemen, I greet you here on the bank of the James River in the year of our Lord, 1712. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. Your invitation reached me on my modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods for control of slaves. Ancient Rome would envy us if my program is implemented. As our boat sails south on the James River, named for our illustrious king, whose version of the Bible we cherish, I saw enough to know that our problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of wood as crosses for standing human bodies along its old highways in great numbers, you are here using the tree and the rope on occasion.
Hold it just a minute right there, please. You are here using the tree and the rope on occasion. We are the strange fruit. A few minutes ago, I'd like to interrupt you just for a moment.
Okay.
A few minutes ago, I said that we are the offspring of test tube babies. We have been broken. We have been bred. We have been crossbred. We have been bred to the bone. We have been recycled. And we have been reborn. First, I'd like to tell you this. We have been crossbred. Crossbred. Let me tell you what crossbreeding means. When you crossbreed a horse with an ass, what do you get? You get a dumb, backward ass, long-headed mule who doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, that is not reproductive, not productive by itself. So what do you get when you crossbreed a nigger? You've never heard this before, crossbreed niggers. What do? You take so many drops of good white blood and put them into as many nigger women as possible, varying the drops by the various tones you want, and letting them breed with each other until the circle of colors appear as you may desire. Now, what is the final analysis there? What is the final analysis? What do you get when you breed these two things and bring them together? You get a bunch of dumb, backward ass, unusual ass acting niggers with dumb, backward ass mules who don't know up from down. That is not, one is not reproductive and the other is not productive of itself. Now, I'd like to ask you something, Ms. Rucker.
Yes.
When you, what does it mean when you take so many drops of good white blood? Now, they didn't have any test tubes back in this time. When you take so many drops of good white blood and put them into as many nigger women as possible, how are you going to do that?
You're going to have sex with them.
You're going to have sex with them?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have sex with a black woman when her daughter is born, when she gets of age, and that age then was 12, 13, 14, you would have sex with her.
Yes.
And then when her child is born, you would have sex with her, putting so many drops of good white blood into as many black women as possible, varying the drops by the various tones you want, and letting them breed with each other until the circle of colors appear as you desire. Now, that's what we've been through with to get up to this point. Now, Ms. Ruck, if you continue with your letter here.
Okay. I caught the whiff of a dead slave hanging from a tree a couple of miles back. You are not only losing valuable stock by hangings, you are having uprisings, slaves are running away, Your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long for maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires. Your animals are killed. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed properly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years.
Oh, please, just let me stop right there. What this man is going to put on us, if done properly, it will remain in our bloodstreams for 300 years. Please continue.
My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes.
Hold it 1 minute. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. It sounds like Willie Lynch is alive and doing well today.
Hey.
Sounds like Willie Lynch, does it?
I would think
I
so.
use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. We have not outgrown it yet. We're still in the middle of it. Pardon me for interrupting you. Continue, Ms.
Perfect, all
Rucker.
right. These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but it is not there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, size of plantation, status on plantation, attitude of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley, on a hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of actions, but before that I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration.
Hold it 1 minute. Just a minute. Distrust, listen to me, people. Distrust is stronger than trust. And envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. If you envy somebody, no matter how much you respect them, hey, they got a hold on you. If you envy somebody, no matter how much you hold them up high and how much you admire them, under this here, they're teaching these black people, hey, and no matter how, whether you're old or whether you're young, whether you have nappy hair, whether you have good hair, hey, this is what them few drops of blood is doing that they have put in you. A circle of colors, whether you live on the hill, whether you live in the valley, whether you live east or west, distrust is stronger than trust. We don't trust each other. We have not arose to the point in life where we trust each other. And envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. Hey, it's heavy. Let's get on into it.
The black slave, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands.
Okay. The black slave, after he receives this, he don't need you to help him no more. Once he's got this in his bloodstream,
absolutely,
he'll refuel his own battery. His battery will recharge itself. He doesn't need you no more. He's going to hate each other. He's going to distrust each other. He's going to be mad with his black brother. He's going to be mad with his black sister, no matter where he lives, east, west, north, or south. Please continue.
Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks. But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kids are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful.
Hey.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Hey, Willie Lynch is something else. You see what he's saying here? Pitch the old black man against the young black man. Old black woman against the young black woman. The little short niggas against the tall ones. You understand what I mean? The women versus the men. The light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. This is what you got to do. You got to make them all hate each other. And this is the formula. You got to make them all hate each other. And you must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. Hey, we locked into a bind.
Is it any wonder
We're locked into a bind.
Hey.
Yeah, we're locked into a bind. There ain't nowhere to go. When he puts this on us, it's all over. It's all over. Okay, let's start here, okay?
It was the interest and business of slave owners to study human nature, and the slave nature in particular, with a view to practical results, and many of them attained astonishing proficiency in this direction. They had to deal not with earth, wood, and stone, but with men, and by every regard they had for their own safety and prosperity, they had need to know the material on which they were to work. Conscious of the injustice and wrong they were every hour perpetrating, and knowing what they themselves would do were they the victims of such wrongs. And they were constantly looking for the first signs of the dreaded retribution.
Hey, isn't that something?
Hey.
Look here. In other words, look here. These white people saying, look here, you're not dealing with wood, you're not dealing with iron, you're not dealing with stone, you're dealing with men.
Absolutely.
So let's look out for them. Let's see. You know what you would do if the black man was treating you the way that we're treating them? Don't you know what you would do? So we got to look out for them, because what you would do, we got to look out for it, because they would do the same thing to us. So we got to stay on guard. Hey.
They watched, therefore, with skilled and practiced eyes, and learned to read with great accuracy the state of mind and heart of the slave through his sable face. Unusual sobriety, apparent abstraction, sullenness, and indifference, indeed any mood out of the common way, afforded ground for suspicion and inquiry.
Hey, that's something. They watched your face. They wanted to see if you was happy, if you was smiling. If you wasn't smiling, they want to know, hey, nigga, what's wrong with you? Now, I want to tell you something. When I worked on the dock at McLean Trucking Company, life had become serious business to me. I was out there lifting heavy freight, loading and unloading trucks. And the white terminal manager used to come around sometimes, and he would speak to everybody. And he would walk into my truck, and he'd say, Carl, what's wrong with you? I say, nothing, sir. Nothing is wrong with me. Well, I don't ever see you smiling. Why don't you smile sometimes? I say, well, my work is hard. I say, do I do my job? Yes, you do your job. I say, is my work up to par? He say, it's better than up to par. I said, well, why do I have to smile? Why can't I just do my work and do it well and hit the clock and go home? This shows you right here. He watches your face. He wants you to be happy with your work. And black folks had to disguise this out in the cotton fields by singing songs. They'd be singing songs, and he thought they were happy. Oh, Lord, there's going to be a good day over the hill one day, and singing them old Negro spirituals. Oh, Lord, I was feeling low, but my head is on right. Lord, I'm coming to you, Lord. And the white man would say he's all right because he would watch your face. He would watch your moods. And he wanted to see whether you were getting ready to take out retribution on him for what he was doing to you. Oh, me. Hey.
Let's make a slave is a